Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Shifty's 49ers Talk. This one goes out to Niner fans near, far, NFL fans, sports fans. You are all welcome here. Tonight, we are going to preview the divisional matchup between our San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. We are traveling to the frozen tundra that is Lambeau Field. It's going to be a good one. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first thing that I want to talk about is a recap of the last time these two teams met. Of course, that was Week 3, Sunday Night Football at Levi's Stadium, where the Green Bay Packers ended up coming away with a win 30-28. Of course, Kyle Juszczyk had that touchdown. There was 37 seconds left. Rodgers had a couple of big passes to Davante Adams, set them up for the last second field goal, and Mason Crosby was good for the Packers to win the game. Now, when we look at that game, both teams are very different, but in particular, the 49ers team that played then is very different to how they're playing right now. Night and day, especially defensively. Defensively, in that game, we were not good. Overall, we couldn't really stop their run. We were giving up defensive pass interference penalties left and right. We got no pressure on Rodgers. Now, partly due to Rodgers getting rid of the ball super quickly, but we got no pressure on him. We only had 1 sack and 2 quarterback hits, compared to in that game, the Packers had 4 sacks and 11 quarterback hits on Jimmy Garoppolo. Defensively, what's really changed for the 49ers? Well, the defensive line lately has been playing at an elite level, and we're talking top to bottom. Not only, of course, the superstars and Nick Bosa, but now you have guys like Armstead playing at an elite level. DJ Jones is out of his mind right now. Arden Key playing very well. Omenahu's come off his best game since joining the team. Jordan Willis has been solid. Kevin Givens has been pretty good too. Samson Ebukam has really come on the last couple of months of the season as well. So this defensive line is deep. It's been getting after quarterbacks. And what we just did to the Cowboys offense, and the Cowboys offense was the #1 offense in the NFL. So I really like our chances to, we're not going to completely shut out the Packers by any stretch of the imagination, but I think this defense is in a much better position now than what they were Week 3. Of course, we have to talk about the cornerback position. So when you think about Ambry Thomas has come on really well, Emmanuel Mosley, K'Wan Williams, these guys have been playing much better. Back then we had Josh Norman giving up penalties, Diamador Lenore giving up penalties. So overall, I think this defense is primed to play really well. Another thing too, Dre Greenlaw will be playing in this game. He was not there Week 3, so we're going to be able to cover the, like slant routes, things of that nature. We should do better than what we did in Week 3. Offensively in that game, we couldn't really get much right. Took us a long time to get going. So here's the thing with the Niners in that game. Believe it or not, we had about 60 rushing yards in that game. The Packers defense, even like on the season as a whole, was not a good rush defense, yet we could not do anything against them. Let's talk about this. Deebo Samuel in that game. 2 rushes for 0 yards. We know that's not going to happen. We had no Elijah Mitchell. We had no Jeff Wilson Jr. We had no JaMychal Hasty. We had Trey Sermon, who, didn't get much blocking in that game, but also didn't look that great. This team has been running much, much better, and I expect us to do a lot better this Saturday compared to Week 3. Also, passing the ball. I don't even think Ayuk was on the field, or maybe I don't even know if he had a target in that game. Ayuk has probably developed into our best route runner. Not only that, Jawan Jennings was nowhere to be found at Week 3 because he just hadn't really progressed to that level where he needed to be. Now Jawan Jennings has been reliable in the red zone, reliable on third down, and of course we got Debo, Kittle, all these guys. This offense is much, much better compared to what we were at Week 3, so I expect a much, much bigger and better performance. Of course, it's natural to look and compare, the previous matchup and how it's going to go here, but this is going to be a lot different. This Niners team is much different to what Green Bay saw in Week 3. Alrighty, now let's get into what the 49ers are going to need to do offensively in order to put up a lot of points and put a lot of pressure on Green Bay. The first thing that we have to do, and we talk about this in every preview video, is we got to establish the run game. I think we're going to be in a much better position to do that now compared to week 3. Of course, you have Elijah Mitchell, who has just been ridiculously impressive. Runs with power, runs with speed, great vision, able to hit the hole hard. A lot of times where you think he's going to get a 4-yard gain, he turns that into a 7 or 8-yard gain. We didn't have that week 3. So the blocking up front is going to have to improve big time, especially with those plays where we run off tackle or in between the guard and tackle where guys have to pull. Week 3, we got beat a lot on those plays. We basically have to follow what the Cleveland Browns did in terms of their run game when they played at Green Bay in order to really maximize what we can do on first down, on second down, put us in a lot of really good situations where the defense really won't know how we're going to hit them. That's when the Niners offense is working its best. When we get those nice 5-6 yards on first down, then you basically have the entire playbook open and you can run so many different formations with different guys who are so versatile, and the defense just really doesn't know how they're going to be attacked. That's when the Niners get those chunk plays, when we have those long drives, we keep the ball away from Aaron Rodgers. If we can get Garoppolo into good situations and limit him having to make those big key throws, that's what's going to be really effective. So again, guys like Laken Tomlinson, Alex Mack, Daniel Brunskill, Tom Compton, these guys are going to have a really good game because Green Bay have some really effective defensive linemen. Kenny Clark, has been playing out of his mind. Rashawn Gary has really been stepping up for them. They have a lot of good players on the defensive line, and that they love to attack. They're very aggressive. In that week 3 game, they had 11 quarterback hits. So what we got to do is we got to go away from their strength. We got to attack their weakness, get the run game going, force them to have to stop and think so they can't just go all out at us. Of course, Green Bay, in that game week 3, they did have Jair Alexander. Looks like he's going to play. Now, he's maybe going to be a little bit rusty, and he may not even play. But I'm going to assume that he is going to play. So it's going to be big. How is he going to do guarding Brandon Ayuk? How is he going to do with Deebo Samuel? A lot of these guys are very physical. So I'd expect them, when we're running at him, to really lay some big blocks, really test Jair in terms of the physicality in the run game. Of course, he might be one of the best, if not the best, cornerbacks in the NFL. So we have to respect that. But I'd like to see a lot of misdirection where we maybe initially where we get away from Alexander, open up the pass game. But yeah, keep positive momentum, keep the yards going on first down, set Jimmy up in favorable matchups, and then hit our playmakers who can get yards after the catch. Obviously, Deebo, Ayuk, Kittle, but I think Jawan Jennings could be one of those X factors in this game, where if he can get maybe 6-7 catches and really just be physical in that cold weather, that could really play into our hands. And one of the things, too, we're looking at it, in that week 3 matchup, although the offense didn't look great, they put up 28 points. I'm not even sure if we're going to put up 28 points on Saturday. I don't know. That's a pretty tall ask. However, I do think all in all, I'd like to see our offense just move the ball maybe more efficiently and maybe hold on to the ball, control the clock a little bit more too. All right, let's talk defensively. What are the Niners defense gonna have to do? Well, basically, we're gonna have to keep doing what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. So against Dallas, against the Rams, these are two very high-powered offenses with quarterbacks who normally can, throw the ball incredibly well. Both of those teams have very good receivers, and the game against Green Bay, well, obviously, that's no exception. The Rodgers to Devontae Adams connection is probably the best one in the NFL, and then, of course, they have a bunch of other playmakers on their offense. Marquez Valdez-Scantling comes up with big plays. Alan Lazard, and their running backs, A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, are both formidable. So we have to do is basically we have to play physical defense up front. The defensive line needs to continue doing what they've been doing. Control the line of scrimmage, slow them down on first down, slow them down on second down, really put them in some bad situations. One of the things that happened week 3 is that on first down, the Packers consistently getting 5 yards, getting 6 yards. Then it was 2nd and 4. Then they were in 3rd and 2, things of that nature, which are not good for our defense because Rodgers has that quick release. Devontae Adams is so good off the line of scrimmage. Just his route running is insane. So we really played into their hands. They just, torched us, especially in that first half. They just put a beat down on us. But I think with our defensive line playing a lot better, I don't think nearly as consistently will they be getting those chunk yards on first down. That means when it comes to second, when it comes to third down, Rodgers is going to have to hold the ball a lot longer. That'll allow guys like Bosa and Key and everyone to get after him, maybe force him into some bad throws. We've seen Rodgers against the 49ers defense when the Niners defense is playing really well. 2019, perfect example. Both of those games, we were getting pressure. He fell apart. Now, do I think that's going to happen on Saturday night? Probably not. But if we can play him much better than we did in week 3, I think we can really slow down that offense. If we can force a couple of bad plays early, we could maybe really get into the minds of the Packers where they could be thinking, oh, it's 2019 all over again. So the guys are going to have to step up big time. Of course, we're going to be asking a lot out of the rookie Embry Thomas, but he's really played well these last couple of weeks. And of course, the big interception against the Rams, played against Dallas very well. They didn't really attack him much at all. Mosley's going to have to be there. One of the key X factors too, when you think about it in this game, is that we didn't have Arden Key really playing at all week 3. Arden Key now has become one of our best interior pass rushers, so that could really throw a wrench into that Packers game plan. But also Dre Greenlaw at linebacker, he was not there week 3. He's going to be a big piece in my opinion. Although Fred Warner is healthy and he's been a full participant, I still think he's going to be a little bit slower, not 100%. So it's going to step up. Dre Greenlaw is going to have to step up a little bit, make those plays, be effective in coverage like he was in the 2019 NFC Championship game. But overall, I like our defense to play much, much better this time around compared to week 3. Week 3, we gave up 30 points. We only had 1 sack, 2 quarterback hits. They were running the ball effectively. I don't think they're going to be as successful. I think our defense is much more disciplined now, knows what they're doing. And of course, DeMeco Ryans, that was his 3rd game ever in a meaningful game calling a defense. Now he's had so much experience. And this team is battle tested. We've just gone into Dallas, into LA, even though both stadiums, we had a lot of fans there, but either way, those are 2 high-powered offenses, and we did a pretty darn good job slowing them down. So I think hopefully we can do it again and come out with the win. It's going to be a good one. Alrighty, so I want to wrap this preview up. I want to throw out a couple of my X factors, some key players for the game. Then I'm going to give you my prediction for the game, which is going to be a good one. So X factor on offense, to me, it's going to be Jawan Jennings. The Packers and 49ers, we've played each other many times over the last few years. They're very familiar with Debo, with Kittle. Everyone knows about Ike. So I think Jawan Jennings is going to be the X factor in this game. Can he make those big key catches on third down? Can he get open in the red zone too? I think we might target him a couple of times. He's a big receiver, very physical. I think he's going to be our key on offense. Defensively, who I just talked about, it's going to be Dre Greenlaw, in my opinion. We know the defensive line is playing a lot better than what they were week 3. The defensive line is incredibly deep, but I think Dre Greenlaw is going to have a big ask. He's going to have to be covering the backs coming out of the backfield, which Green Bay loves to do, whether it's screen passes, whether the back just flares out, and Dre Greenlaw is going to have to be there to cover him, covering tight ends, maybe blitzing here and there. He's going to be, in my opinion, the X factor. If he plays a really, really good game, I think that frees up everyone else to kind of play their roles and do a good job. So those are my 2 picks for the X factors. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on who you think are the key guys, the X factors in this game who could really decide it. So now we're going to talk about the prediction. This is going to be a good one because this is giving me memories of, I believe it was 2013 when Kaepernick went into Lambeau Field and it was cold, cold, cold. The offenses definitely weren't clicking on all cylinders or firing on all cylinders. So to me, it's going to be pretty similar. I'm going to go with 49ers 24, Green Bay 21. I think this is going to be a really close game, as it has been with the Niners. It's just par for the course. I'd love to see this result happen, to see us move on, beat the Cowboys, beat the Packers. Now, that would be real redemption for some of those 90s teams. But I'm going to go 24-21 49ers. I obviously hope that I'm right, and then I hope that I'll still have some more preview videos to make this year. Let me know your guys' predictions, and feel free to please like, subscribe. It means a lot. It really helps out the channel. And just 2 things to say to you guys. The butt counts. I'm going to catch you all on the flip side.